this evening. Incredible information brought to us by Jovan Hutton-Pulitzer tonight on the forensic audit. And Liz Harris is here with us now. She's running for state rep. Liz, tell us about One Day, One Vote.
Okay, One Day, One Vote is so important to get in every state across the country because it's the direct opposite of what the people who are involved in the voting the cheating of the votes, what they want. So the number one thing is we can't have these very long election cycles because that is they have a larger time frame to basically conduct the rig. So that's important. The other thing that's super important is to vote in your local precinct, because when you do an audit, you can have a precinct audit. When you go and vote in a voting center, so like I'm in Maricopa County, I can go vote the same place that 2.6 million voters places they can vote at. So those large voting centers, they are part of the rig. Then we need to have strong voter ID. We need to have hand counts, and we need to get rid of the machines. And all of the information that we found in the canvas that they showed us in the movie 2,000 Mules, and the information that Jovan Hutton-Pulitzer today presented, it just completely proves out why we need the One Day, One Vote. And in the state of Arizona, the One Day, One Vote legislation was a bill drawn. And it was originally HB 2596. Speaker of the House Rusty Bowers assigned it to 12 committees plus rules to kill it. So it was renamed HB 2289, and it got traction by Representative John Fillmore. And everyone here today was in favor of this One Day, One Vote HB 2289. And the Senate President, Karen Fann, refused to put it on the floor for a third read. So we're kind of like back to zero, because the state legislature did end the session, and now it's basically we're relying on candidates like myself to get this to go into effect in January, to draft the bills for January of 2023.
And tell me again when your primary is.
So our primary here in Arizona is August 2nd.
Yeah, same as Michigan. So interesting, because a lot of the things we heard tonight were very similar to the things that I've been hearing in Michigan, almost identical stories, where you have the phantom voting, you've got the ballot harvesting, and all of these things going on. And one of the things that was very shocking was when Jovan said that illegal aliens are being assigned social security numbers, the same social security number. I mean, what has been the most egregious thing? I mean, all of it is disheartening. What do you think is the most egregious thing in all of this? Is it knowing that the Rhino Republicans are actually just as difficult as the Dems at this point?
I think the most egregious thing is to realize that there's a much higher, or I call them the global elitists, that they're essentially controlling how not just the United States of America runs, but how the world runs. And it's really, so the most disenfranchising thing to me is it's we the people against the global elitist. The global elitist, with the exception of you and some others, they control the media, they control the social media, they control the education system. So that's what's disenfranchising, that this is the biggest fight of our lives. When I did run in 2020. I only lost by 1,092 votes. When I went in to vote in 2020, I actually did a Facebook video that Arizona had the safest and most secure election because we had the mail-in ballot for almost 3 decades. Guess what? Arizona perfected the fraud with the mail-in ballot over the last 3 decades. My eyes have been wide opened. If you asked me 2 years ago if I would be standing here talking about this, I would have never in a million years. This is not what I would have picked. But once you see things, you can't unsee them. And I'm going to fight till the day I die to make sure that elections are truly secure in the United States of America.
Liz, tell everybody where they can learn more about your campaign.
Thank you. So I'm at votelizharris.com, votelizharris.com.